Despite progress being made, don't expect restrictions to be lifted anytime soon.
Laura, that's certainly the message we're hearing from the medical authorities in Australia, that they don't want people to become complacent despite the progress that we are seeming to make in lowering the number of cases that we're seeing present across the country every day. Yesterday, in fact, Australia recorded its lowest increase in cases since back in February, which obviously is a good sign, but in the lead up to the Easter holidays, the warning is that people can't afford to stop practicing social distancing or not adhere to the restrictions that have been placed on the economy, that is the very thing that is in fact seeing this curve starting to flatten. The National Cabinet, the state and territory leaders meeting again today with this national hookup. They are due to talk about the modelling. The Prime Minister has flagged that late last week that we could see the release of modelling that shows the expectation for the number of Australians who will get this, and on a more dire side, the number of Australians who could die as a result of this. Here was the Deputy Chief Medical Officer yesterday.
So we seem to have successfully flattened the curve at the moment, and so whether we indeed will get a peak is hard to know. Maybe we're there already. I don't believe so. We've really concentrated on putting the foot on the brake. The next obvious question is when the brake could be released. These would be difficult discussions with well, they would be important discussions with the National Cabinet.
The tricky issue of commercial rent relief is again on the National Cabinet agenda, with that mandatory code of conduct discussed last week, hoping to come into land today, finally being able to reveal the full details of this. Then they move on to the next tricky issue of residential rent. But the New South Wales Treasurer indicated late last week that that state is willing to waive land tax if the rent relief is passed on to tenants. So it'll be interesting to see whether they are able to come to some national position, Laura, when it comes to land tax.